Welcome back. If you are just joining me, you are watching Daily Politics on Trust TV. Do well to follow the conversation across our social platforms on Facebook, Instagram, and watch us live on YouTube. We now turn to the renewed battle for the control of the People's Democratic Party. Of course, tensions are rising between the camp linked to former Minister Kabiru Turaki and forces loyal to FCT Minister Wike, as both sides position for influence within the party's national leadership. An attempt by the Wike-aligned faction to reopen the PDP sealed national secretariat was blocked following the intervention of the Inspector General of Police, Kayode Betekun, adding another layer of drama to the struggle. We're now going to get perspective from the PDP chieftain here in the studio, Umar Sani, also known as the Cat, as he weighs in on the latest round of hostilities and what it means for the party's future. Umar Sani, welcome to.
Thank you. How are you?
I'm good. And you? I didn't see, the tear gas on your face. What happened today? Because apart from the crisis revolving around the transmission of result, protests at the National Assembly, the other significant issue in the polity, of course, apart from insecurity, is the crisis within the People's Democratic Party.
Yes. Well, the crisis is now domiciled in the courts. It is not an issue that anybody will want to use force. We had tried that. Both sides were on a battleground over the secretariat, who is in charge of the secretariat. And the police had used their discretion without even any court order to seal the secretariat after our national convention. I'm sure you will recall that. But nevertheless, the issue, transcends, just going to the secretariat, opening secretariat, and still engaging in fights. And so what the police did was to say, hold on, there is no judgment yet saying the secretariat should be opened. And so since there is no judgment as to, by any court, directing that, even though the police didn't have any judgment giving them authority to lock up the secretariat, but perhaps I presume that they did it because, they do not want a breakdown of law and order. And I think the police are entrusted with the responsibility of maintaining law and order. And so if there is a breach or a breakdown of law and order, they can step in. And so by stepping in to put a wedge between both sides, it is to ensure that there is no breakdown of law and order, and to ensure that the rightful occupants of the office will be given the due recognition, by the judiciary or by the relevant authorities, even though the matter is not, an issue that should go to court. It is non-justiciable because it's an issue that has to do with the leadership of the party, and the courts have consistently maintained, especially the Supreme Court, that such matters are not justiciable. But because, when you have issues, when you have quarrels, you want to do what is right. You have done what is constitutionally provided. Our NEC had held a meeting in the presence of INEC. INEC was part of that NEC meeting.
Which NEC are you talking?
The NEC before now, the NEC before now. This is not the Wike NEC. Wike NEC is not a NEC. It's just an appointment of people into positions. What I'm telling you is that when Damagun was chairman and Anyanwu was secretary, NEC held a meeting and gave INEC 21 days notice for the Ibadan Convention. That notice was what was required, and it was sufficient. And we went to conduct we were on our way to conducting the convention. Some landmines were laid. People went to court in one way or the other as a guise to stop us from the convention, even though they know that the Supreme Court has severally held, and most recently, even in our own case, when there was an issue of who is the secretary of the party, you know, the South-South caucus met and elected SKE Okoye as a replacement to Anyanwu, who had gone to contest for the governorship of Imo State.
But you know, for so many months we have transcended that. What we have now, or let me put it this way, who is the chairman of a PDP now?
Well, I'm coming to that.
I want to, because that history, we have repeated it here.
No, it's not about history. I'm only laying the foundation.
But that foundation that you laid, Umar, you know, few days ago, a court in Ibadan nullified the Ibadan Convention. Is that correct?
Well, we have received that notice of the nullification, but, you know, it is a but. Our argument there is that the court was sitting on an issue which we brought before them. We did not bring the issue of the leadership of the party. What we brought was an issue requesting the court to give an order to INEC to recognize the Ibadan Convention. That's the reason, and we were looking for an order of mandamus. Now, when we went to the court initially, in their submission, said they cannot sit in appeal over a matter that some other courts of coordinate jurisdiction have decided upon. The same court of appeal, the same court, Federal High Court, headed by Justice Omotosho, had decided on one aspect of it, and not Justice Lifu of the Federal High Court. So her courts, Justice Uche Agomo said, I cannot sit. If I sit and I give that judgment, it means I'm sitting on appeal. Now, the same issue she was talking about, she turned around and sat on appeal on an issue which is not even before her.
While in school, we are told that courts are not Father Christmas. Are you saying that the judge now played the role of Father Christmas? She gave what she was not asked to give.
Yes, you know, Father Christmas is the natural name we call it. But yes, when I call it, I said the courts are not Santa Claus.
Okay.
Yes, Santa Claus is Father Christmas.
Who gives without asking? Without asking. So are you saying that the judge gave judgment?
The judge veered off. Instead of where she is supposed to stop is to say, I decline your request for this, because the other party did not make a counterclaim. They did not say, okay, since these people are looking for this, we are also making a claim to say, give us this. They did not make a counterclaim. They only requested the court not to give us what we are looking for. And even if they made a counterclaim, the law requires that the thing must be argued in court and they must justify why they must be given.
And that did not happen.
And that didn't happen.
Then something happened in Abuja last week. We saw the Abdurrahman Mame faction at INEC headquarters. We didn't see you there. And police did not chase them out. So what is the meaning of that?
Well, we did not understand what was happening until the INEC spokesperson came out to say that that aspect of inviting PDP to a meeting did not specifically say who should be there and who should not be there. And it is not, a sign of recognition to the Anyanwu-led faction, because they only invited PDP. And so anybody who comes there, they believe is representing PDP, because it is just a briefing. It is not a meeting.
Your briefing is very important.
Yes, but it is not. It's not a briefing between INEC and PDP. It is a briefing by INEC to political parties. And when they came there, it was assumed that they came to represent the PDP, because the invitation was extended to PDP. That is what the spokesperson said. So it is not a measure of recognition of them.
Do you think INEC, was transparent in what happened? Because if you said it was just a briefing, I know we as journalists, if we are invited to a press briefing and then we saw a carpenter there, we will ask him question. And this is a political party that is said to be neither here nor there. But then a certain faction went there. Don't you think INEC is actually being clever by half, indirectly recognizing the Anyawu faction and Abdurrahman and Wike by extension?
Well, ordinarily, that was our initial thought, that they were, trying to recognize them, cleverly. But when they came out to explain, then we have no justification to continue to blame them, because they have come out to say, this is the reason why we allowed these people to come. And so that means if our chairman, Kabir Tanimu Turaki, who is the authentic chairman, if he had been there with the secretary, perhaps he would also have been allowed.
Why was he not there, since there was an invitation?
Well, perhaps
probably the invitation was not extended to your faction.
No, maybe, I don't know how the invitation was done. I don't know whether it was a public invitation or a direct invitation. What letters were written and sent. And then even if letters were written, it depends on who is the messenger. The messenger who is carrying the letter may decide to go to anyone that suits him to go and give them the letter. So perhaps that is what happened, because INEC's clarification is sufficient to let you know that there is some foul play somewhere.
Okay, now it's like there is a stalemate, whichever way you look at it. At the INEC headquarters, at the courts, and then at the party secretariat. Where are you now?
Well, we're hoping that the appeal court will start sitting tomorrow. And once the appeal court starts sitting tomorrow, we are expecting accelerated judgment.
To discuss what?
To discuss these issues. Perhaps the appeal court, there are 3 issues before the appeal court. The issue, as decided by Justice Omotosho, there was an appeal and a stay of execution. This issue, as decided, which affects Sulalamido, by Justice Lifu, there is an appeal and there is a stay of execution. And of course, the Ibadan judgment of Justice Uche Agomo, they are all before the appeal court. Now it is left for the appeal court to either consolidate or to treat each issue on its own merit. But we are hoping that because the issues concerned are all enshrined on the PDP leadership, they will consolidate and then the matter will be decided.
Are you not worried, Umar, that PDP is so weak now that in various fora, people discussing about opposition, they start with ADC?
No, we are not worried. You see, we are thankful that our problem started early, and so we are reaching the climax, almost ending the problem. Because if the matter is not going to be decided by an appellate court, it means that we are reaching to an end of the matter. Now, if we are reaching an end, there are so many suits filed against ADC, which has not even started yet. So if they start, we don't know how it will pan out. Again, coming to even the ruling party, forget about lawsuits. The ruling party is heading towards an implosion. And once that implosion happens, they will also be trying to manage crisis. And in trying to manage crisis, we will ultimately be the beneficiary of the
What
crisis.
is in the open there is that they are actually receiving defectors, including your governors, left, right, and center.
Of course.
And here we are with you in the studio saying they are inching towards implosion. How do you mean? What are the parameters?
What are the
indicators?
Yes, you see, receiving governors. When you receive the governor of Bayelsa, who is a second-term governor, who is going. All his senators are not with him. In fact, the late deputy governor, who was with him, who was together, did not decamp with him. The former president, Goodluck Jonathan, is not with him. He is on his own. Now, he is going. And don't forget the way he won it. He didn't win it because he had superior voting power. He was defeated at the polls. But the reason is that the other candidate of the APC lost because his deputy was found to be, had several names and so forth.
So you are saying invariably, even governors seeking second term, they don't have political weight?
Well, you see, politics is much more dynamic than you think. We have had on our own side, I don't want to discuss on the side.
Yes, and we have just 1 minute to wrap up, yes.
Okay, on our own side, what we have Bala Muhammad, who came from behind, one-time governor, and defeated a first-time governor. Fintiri came from behind to defeat a one-time governor. Lawal Dari came from behind to defeat a one-time governor. And Ademola Adeleke came from behind to defeat a one-time governor.
So you are still strong, you think?
Yeah, of course. We are very strong.
All right, Umar Sani, I wish we have more time to discuss this politics of defection and all that. But we'll invite you once again.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming. And viewers, that's a wrap on today's package of Daily Politics from Trust TV. Join us tomorrow for another interesting edition of the program. I'm Hamza Idris from here. Good night.